Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Coach LaChapelle, Miss LaChapelle. I'm actually really excited to be able to do this presentation on how civic engagement has impacted my life and how my social studies courses have impacted my life as well, just because it's become so service to my community and to my world. It's just become so important to me, especially over my high school experience. And so I'm just really excited to get to kind of talk about how it's impacted me. Okay, so one of my first experiences with social studies courses in high school was in world history, and I really enjoyed world history because I got to kind of learn about the world's past, and I got to kind of see like how the events have worked up until now, which has been super cool and super interesting to me. And I've also gotten to learn about different cultures and religions, countries, and ways of life. And that's been super interesting as well because I've also been able to go and I've been able to see how people are different than I am, yet how interesting and how unique it is and how that makes them who they are. And it's just been interesting too to kind of learn about other cultures and religions, and especially with religions, because I mean, I've always been a Christian my entire life. And so it was interesting to kind of hear about other religions and why they believe what they believe. And honestly, it just kind of confirmed in my life what I believed. And then the last thing that I kind of took away from my world history course was I was able to learn the past mistakes of world leaders and countries and things like wars and Holocaust and things like that. And but I was also able to learn about successes that they've had and what worked and what didn't work. And I was able to see why we were able to kind of move past that and grow from that as a nation and as a world. So that was super interesting to me. And then the second most important social studies coursework that I was able to take was American government, which I actually took this at Gordon during COVID, which was really interesting. And I was able to kind of just talk to my professor because it was during COVID. So we had like a hybrid type of course. So I would only go in once a week. And a lot of times he also gives the option if you didn't want to go in, you didn't have to. So a lot of times I would be the only one in class with my professor and my other classmates would be online. But it was kind of an interesting experience because I got to kind of talk about things that I thought and things that he thought. And it was just kind of interesting to kind of get to just mesh together and kind of just learn from him as he's been a member of society for a lot longer than I have. And I was also able to learn how the government works. I think that it was interesting to learn about how all the branches of government work and together, but it's also kind of interesting to learn how they have their separate duties, yet in the end, they all work together with checks and balances and things like that. That was super interesting to me. And also I was able to find out who represents me in their roles in office. So I was able to learn about our state representatives, our senators and our president, our governors, and other people, members of the cabinet. I was able to learn like what their role is and figure out who they are and where they come from. So that was really interesting as well. And I was also able to learn my civic duty as an American citizen. I think even though I'm not 18 yet, I still can't vote, but I was able to learn about how voting is not the only way that we can be involved in society. We can be involved by protests and we can be involved by writing to our representatives so that we can change things in society that we want changed. So the last portion of my presentation is going to be to discuss how civic engagement has impacted me. So I think the first thing that kind of sticks out is I was able to learn the importance of serving others. And I think that I might still would have had this kind of idea in my mind, but I think that by serving, I learned how to serve and I learned how important it is to serve because a lot of times I think that because I've served others in my community, they've kind of returned the favor when I had a need. And so that's been super, super, super humbling and super interesting to be able to learn. I was also able to learn leadership qualities. I was able to learn how to lead a group and not only just how to lead, but I think I was able to learn how to lead well. I think I was able to develop kind of qualities like humility. That's a big one that I've learned is how to be humble, yet also kind of take charge and make sure that everything is going according to plan. And even if it's not going according to plan, it's okay. And there's a way to correct others without kind of saying that you're better. And I thought something interesting too. I think that I was also able to learn follower qualities, which I think is kind of, everybody's like, don't be a follower. But I think in some situations you do need to be a follower because I wouldn't be able to be the leader that I am and learn how to lead if I wasn't a follower and I didn't have to follow other people who led well. So that's been something that I've really, really, really enjoyed is getting to follow others through my community service. And then also I was able to grow into the desire to serve others. I absolutely love to participate in community service and I love to go and just serve other people, because it truly not only does it make me feel good, but it also just makes me feel like I'm an important member of society and that I have purpose, and that because I am able to make ch- I can because I am able to make change, I can make change. And the most important thing to me, the last part, is that I was able to find my career path through the service that I've been able to do, which is super cool. And I feel like not a lot of people can say that. Because I've been able to go on so many trips. I've been able to go to Honduras and I've been able to go to Malawi, which is in Africa. I've been able to find like what I want to do for the rest of my life, and that's to serve others. And I want to run my own children's home for orphans, because I've been able to see so many orphans um, around the world, and just the need that is there, not only for them to just have their basic needs like food and water and shelter, but also I think it's been important for me to see like they need love. And so that's just been super cool for me to be able to kind of say that I feel like it's different than a lot of people, because I truly have been able to find what I've been called to for the rest of my life through community service that I've been able to participate in. So that's super exciting. And also, I have decided to major in international affairs, which has a lot of government, has a lot of civic engagement aspects to it. So I'm really excited about that. And I think that that's just been so cool to kind of see how that's been fostered throughout my education in social studies, and just through things that I've been able to be a part of as a community member. And so that's just been awesome to kind of see and just be a part of and learn and grow as a member. Thank you guys so much.